The Miracle Whip I just bought yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Did you have a good lunch?
I went to Smoking Jack.
But that was terrible. It was like, I've never gone there. We've only ever ordered out. I work at the hospital, and we order out and brought here from people. I've never gone.
Well, I have tokens for free drinks the next time I go, so if y'all want them,
Oh, that's nice. Well, at least they felt bad.
I think
At least they were sorry. I thought maybe we had. I He wants to rip his nose off. And they're even in a speedway right near the beach, so that makes it easy. I'll just leave them lay here in case you need them. Use a paper towel to clean your nose is gonna hate you. Marty's not here to handle it. Okay. I don't know if he's over
All right, we're going to get started with our market goat show. I'd like to welcome everybody. We're going to start with showmanship. But first, I'd like to introduce our judge, in case you weren't here this morning for our lamb show. This is Levi Richards. Levi is from Bowling Green, Ohio. He studied animal science at the Ohio State University. Levi is a regional sales manager for Kalmbach Feeds and the national brand manager of Formula of Champion Show Feeds. He has judged cattle, sheep, and goats in 18 states and Canada, including the North American in Louisville, Pasadena Stock Show in Texas, Canadian Royal, and most recently, the Western Bonanza in California. Levi enjoys traveling the country, evaluating and showing livestock of every species with his wife Kayla and their 5 kids, with one more on the way. Please help me welcome Levi. We are going to start showmanship with our senior division, ages 16 and up. I need Jimmy Peasley, Kirsten Reese, Brenna Bischoff, Caitlin Johnson, Elizabeth LaRue, Hannah Wolf, and Hallie Simmons.
What is it? Okay.
I don't know. They all I wasn't sure exactly how it happened. I've shot it a few times. Figured I'd get a little more on this one. These guys have
Yeah, I don't think you have any restrictions as far as the speed goes, because you are members, but I'll verify that.
I was looking online. This was good late time.
Anybody can nominate somebody that is coached out of their school to be a junior member participate. So someone can come up here and nominate somebody to do it, and then we notify that person that someone paid $10 to nominate them to show them. $20 to get out and do it wrong. I think our overseas 66 or so, right? So a lot of them are
Well, good afternoon. We had a lot of fun here this morning sorting through sheep and our sheep showmen, and like I said earlier in the sheep show, I remembered this place from last year. I remember the quality of livestock was good, the showmen were just exceptional, and as we get into our goat show, I think we're already seeing that. I think these top three are just absolutely top notch and really do a nice job, and they kind of go about doing things a little bit differently, so I want to make sure that we talk all three of these before we place them. Young man up front does a nice job getting that guy presented, really keeps his head and neck straight and upright without too much pressure on that head. There's been a couple times I've seen you pull at it, but you're quick to kind of set him back down and get back into him. I like how you throw that leg up in front of him and you kind of stay a little bit more upright. That's the one thing that I see is a little bit more different between showing sheep and goats. There's a lot of things we do the same, but I do like to see these goats showing just be a little bit more upright. I don't think we need to squat down low to get into these guys. Being a little bit smaller animals, you have to squat off the hard or off the low to really do that right. So I think there's a little bit different approach, and you've done a nice job kind of harnessing that. I want you to be just a little bit smoother sometimes in your transitions. You get just a little bit quick and jerky about throwing him around when you go to stop and set up, but that's getting really, really critical. I mean, I think you do a nice job. Young lady here in the middle, again, one that just has kind of that next level of professionalism out here. Boy, she just has such a look about her. She's intense, but yet she's really smooth. She's got some of those delicate hands, but yet she does the work exactly how she needs to. She's really quick about getting set up. It never looks like she's too forceful on that goat, and I think that's a really hard, happy medium to find, and she's really done a nice job mastering that. I love the way you get this guy driving. He's the most moderate of the top four of our three goats that we have out here. So you got a little bit harder job to do, and you really just nail it. And I love the overall presentation and look that you've got out here for him. Young lady in the third hole right now, you got a really nice job, or doing a really nice job getting him stopped and set up and driving. I wish you'd pay just a little closer attention to feet and legs at times, because there's a time or two we've had a leg off, and it just takes a little bit longer to get corrected. Or maybe you are set up, but you're not just on perfect 90s. And here, when senior showmanship gets this tough and it's this critical, I think those little details are going to matter. It is awfully close for me. I'm going to use the young lady in the middle to be our winner. Young man up here to be second, young lady over here to be third.
First place and our senior champion showman is Brenna Bischoff. Second, Jimmy Peasley. Third, Hallie Simmons. Fourth, Elizabeth LaRue. Fifth, Hannah Wolf. Sixth, Caitlin Johnson. And seventh, Kirsten Reese. Now we're ready for our intermediate division, ages 12 to 15. I need Brooklyn Castile, Ella Johnson, Michaela Bush, Ava Simmons, Lexi Roy, Lane Clark, Bristol Bowyer, Aubrey Welch, Paisley Kidwell, and Caden Bowyer.
definitely.
He doesn't want to come. It's studs that down there. He thinks he'll come out. He doesn't. Not sure. They said they should be done by 2. I have Division 1.
Another really competitive age division here for showmanship. I've got it narrowed down to these two young ladies, and their approach up front is just a little bit different, but I appreciate what both of them are doing. Young lady up front with the doe, I really appreciate you, and I'll tell you what, this goat is not the easiest one to show. We showed a doe all summer, her name was Cardi. It ended up being Crazy Cardi by the end because she was an absolute lunatic. And if she was just walking through the ring, she was usually up in the air. She spent more time off of her 4 feet than she did on the ground. But that tells you what an absolute psycho Crazy Party was. She was there, okay? So I get it, I feel your pain. But when you get stopped, you get her driving, you really get her put together really well. Look how square you get her set up. You get her really bracing quite well. You keep that head and neck really upright. I like your hand placement a lot on that goat. You do a nice job just kind of being more hands off, not pulling with that head too much. And just being really calm about the way you present that front end. Young lady here is maybe just a bit more aggressive when it comes to bracing, and that's perfectly fine. She knows she's got to pick that one up to get in the drive. Not all goats really want to just flex those muscles as easy as some of those others, but you do a nice job making sure you get that out of them. I would like to change your hand placement just a little bit. You tend to be under that chin and behind that head. I'd like you to slide them around, be just a little bit more hands off when it really comes down to it. Just show me a little more relaxed figure there in terms of your hand placement on that head and neck. Boy, I think it's close. I think both of you do a nice job. I just kind of prefer the style of the young lady up front. She's going to be our winner. The young lady back here is going to be second. Great job.
First place in our intermediate champion showman is Brooklyn Castile. Second, Ava Simmons. Third, Aubrey Welch. Fourth, Lexi Roy. Fifth, Michaela Bush. Sixth, Lane Clark. Seventh, Bristol Wallier. 8th, Ella Johnson. 9th, Hayden Bollier. And 10th, Paisley Kittle. Now we're ready for our junior division, ages 9 to 11. I need Eli Riley, Olivia Simmons, Olivia Dixon, Emma Foreman, Jace Strasser, Aubrey Funk, Patty Cover, and Carson Foreman.
Courtney.
Mountain State Barbecue is open at the chicken pit. They are serving food now.
I got money that I can give to my kids and I'm bringing to teacher.
Another competitive group here, and I love working with our juniors here. I just love seeing the young kids. They get excited about the goats, excited to get out in the ring, and they just come out here and just show their enthusiasm and energy. And I just eat it all up. Young lady up front does a really nice job, and I tell you, when she gets stopped, she gets this guy set up, squared up, and I love the way she attaches into the front of that goat. I think she's the most correct up there. I think her hand placement's the most correct. She just has the best approach. I think just a little bit more time and experience is going to allow her to see some of those little nitty-gritty things and be able to hold that top line up and put it together just a little bit better. That's something that kind of comes with a little more maturity. But I think in terms of the fundamentals, I think you're doing one heck of a job. A young man here in the middle with the doe does a really nice job getting her set up and getting a good brace out of her at times. There's times where I feel like you're off to the side of her just a little bit too much. Don't be afraid to get her out in front of her just a little more and get in front of her and get her driving just a little bit more correctly. Because I think the more you try to work from the side, the more likely you are to spin her out as you kind of wrap that head around your leg, okay? So work on that a little bit. This lady here in the back hole has done a really nice job. She's super aggressive. I want you to soften it up just a little bit. Get yourself in front of that goat, kind of prop your leg up in front of his neck and chest, and give him something to drive up at. Not your kneecap, but the side of your leg. Open it up just a little bit more, and I think you'll see all those things kind of come in together. Because I like that you stop and you get some legs set up, but as soon as you get to driving, you're picking her up, you're just a little bit too much on her, and I think you're kind of pulling her out of place. So just work on that approach a little bit, soften it up and try to get it hooked up in there a little more correctly, but I think all three of you do a nice job. For me, it's very simple. I'm keeping you in order. The young lady up front's our winner. Young man's going to be second, and this one's going to be third.
First place and our junior champion showman is Olivia Dixon. Second, Jace Strasser. Third, Aubrey Funk. Fourth, Olivia Simmons. Fifth, Patty Coder. Sixth, Emma Foreman. Seventh, Carson Foreman. And eighth, Eli Riley. Okay, now we're ready for our overall champion showman for goats. We need our first place senior division, Brenda Bischoff, our first place intermediate division, Brooklyn Castile, and our first place junior division, Olivia Dixon, and they will be joined by Heather Hayes, which is our champion showman from 2021 and 2022.
I used to have it right back here in the used to be, and my friends sure like, and I don't like it. Yeah, and we can't leave. If one of you weren't sitting up here, we can't leave. So I could have like one of those mini fridges that holds like $6.50. I don't know, it's not very many. I never thought about that.
Let's start by putting our hands together here for all four of our contenders for overall vote showman. I know one thing's for sure, I'm excited to judge these market goats because there's been some really good ones come through the ring to kind of get your blood pumping, and we're not even there yet. But I tell you what, as good as the goats are, I think the showmen are just as good, if not better. You guys are just absolute rock stars out here. I'd happily let you guys show any of our goats anytime, and that's something we're going to kind of take into consideration at home. I actually just bought a herd of 14 breds and a buck here in the last few weeks, so that's kind of a new venture for us. But you guys are just absolutely killing it. I love your approach up front, just hooking into the front of these goats, getting them driving, getting them set up correctly. I think a couple of you are maybe just a little bit smoother in the way that you approach it than others. I know like the young lady here has got that crazy doe that she's got to work with and be able to be a little more sensitive about getting her placed and set up, and I just really respect what you guys are doing out here. I think there's one showman out here that just a little bit smoother. I like her connect up into the front of that goat just a little bit more. I like her hand placement as good as anybody. I love the drive she gets out of this goat. I like the way she gets him set up nice and wide, but not ridiculously wide where he's outside of the skeleton. I just think there's so much good going on here. Young lady up front, you're my supreme showman.
Our overall supreme champion for goat showmanship is Heather Hayes. Now we're going to start right into our market goat show with Division 1, Class 1. I need Paisley Kidwell, tag 424, Hannah Wolf, tag 450, Hattie Coger, tag 407, and Olivia Simmons, tag 441. And I would also like to mention that with our showmanship, they were sponsored by White House Cattle, and the champions for each division received a medal, and the overall supreme champion received a medal and a banner, and a cash prize.
Lightweight goats or Class 1 goats at a lot of shows are always interesting because they're always just a little bit greener and just don't have as much true substance and shape, and it's hard to talk a powerhouse when they're in the lightest class. But I'll tell you what, I think there's one that I really like here for where they're at right now for this weight range. I think this spot-legged one is just really abundant in terms of shape and mass over that top and from behind. He's the roundest about his cage. He's the biggest bone, just the biggest featured one. I think you could probably make him just a little square if he hooks the pins and just tie them together behind that shoulder just a little bit better. But that's getting critical on one that I think is just really complete for this age and stage. A young lady here that's going to be second in this class. This one gets just a little bit flatter, deeper about her front third and center body. We can just open her up and make her just more massive all the way through. But I know that's going to come with some time. I think just a really nice close one here to follow our class winner. You guys can go ahead and take them out at the top. Young lady's painted that's going to come next. Again, one maybe just a little bit more opened up about her rib cage even than our second place one. For me, just doesn't quite handle with as much mass over that top or from behind. Still one that I think is really nice in her overall design. That would make me a better breeding piece than market wedded or market goat. And then we're going to round out with one that, again, one that has just a little bit more rib. Maybe just doesn't quite handle with as much power and shape over that top and from behind. Again, one you got to level out from hooks to pins and just fix behind that shoulder blade and come up into that chest blade. Just a little better. There's some pieces there we've got to just improve on, but still one that I think has some good features. If you would, let's put your hands together for a nice class to get started.
First place in our first place county bred, Olivia Simmons. Second place in our second place county bred, Hannah Wolf. Third, Paisley Tidwell. And fourth, Patty Cope. Our class 2, division 1, I need Hannah Wolf, tag 449. Eli Riley, tag 436. Emma Foreman, tag 413. Bristol Bawyer, tag 401, Eli Riley, tag 435, and Elizabeth LaRue, tag 425. These goats weigh 77 to 82 pounds.
He had both of them in there. Oh yeah, sister's got 36.
As we continue on through our lightweights, I absolutely love this doe that gets us started here. And I don't know if I just love her and she has to be the market goat. She may be a good breeding piece as well, but just one that's really square, really good underneath. In terms of feet and leg work, I think she's opened up and tubular about that center body. She opens up right behind that shoulder blade just a little better than some of them. Offers some extension up high, and certainly powerful when you get your hands on her. Just one that I think kind of checks every box and just sorts your way to the top rather easily. Young lady's dapple goat that's going to come next. Again, just kind of follows in terms of type and kind. And I'll tell you what, this one has a huge top on it when you get your hands on them. Maybe not quite as powerful from behind, but still, I think this kind of a very complete one. It's very sound, it's very correct structurally, and does a lot of things right. I would like to mass them up just a notch more from behind to be more competitive with that doe. But boy, I tell you what, two really high quality ones there to get us started in this class. Young lady's got one that comes next. Just a really stylish one that has a good look, just not opened up enough. It gets a little bit flatter right behind that blade, a little bit deeper about that chest, but still I think gives you a really nice look and with a lot of extra style in my opinion. Young lady's got one that comes next, gets a little bit longer about that blade, a little deeper about that chest, but still I think has some rib shape, has some muscle, just not near as much as the ones that stand ahead of him. I like his bone work underneath. You get your hands on him just a little bit, just kind of flatter in terms of overall power compared to the ones that stand in front. But still, I think a very just complete one that does a lot of things right structurally. We're going to round out with a couple that just need a little bit more squareness and a little more shape just to open them up and make them more powerful today. If you would, let's put your hands together for all of them.
First place and first place county bred is Emma Foreman. Second place and second place county bred, Elizabeth LaRue. Third place, Bristol Bollier. Fourth, Hannah Wooks. Fifth, Eli Riley. And sixth, Eli Riley. Our third class, Division 1, I need Ava Simmons, tag 439. Emma Foreman, tag 414. Lexi Roy, tag 438. And Paisley Kidwell, tag 423. These goats weigh 84, 85, and 86.
There you go, pull them up then. Set him up. Brace it. Brace it. Emma, switch. Go behind her.
I think a really nice class, and I'll tell you what, I think there's quality all the way through, and I truly mean that. All four of these goats are awfully, awfully good. I chose the one that's just the most heavy duty, just the most opened up right behind his shoulder blade, just the most three-dimensional about his center body, his forerib, the stoutest one up high, the thickest one from behind, a big bone one, maybe just looking a little bit more mature through that front third. That's not going to take away from everything else he's got going on from there back. I'll tell you what, a really nice one here in second. This one may even have just a little bit more time to get better and better. I would like to just strengthen this guy in his top a little bit. He just tends to get a little weaker. Awesome job. Right. This one tends to get just a little bit weaker right behind those shoulder blades. If we can strengthen him there and open him up in that forerib, he just gets a little bit more pinched and just flatters right behind that shoulder blade as we come down from that forerib into his chest. Need to make him more three-dimensional there, open him up. But boy, I'll tell you what, one that's just as big in his pin set and hip as our class winner. A nice, really sound one that just looks really good. Actually, I'll tell you, my favorite angle of this one is when you're out walking him. He's very loose in his skeleton, just gets out and struts really well while keeping that head and neck upright. Just a couple things you got to work through there to appreciate him to the max, boy. One with power, one with look. That's an awfully cool one as well. Real lady's got a real nice one here for third. This one, we probably lose a little bit of that roundness of body. I think both of those two that win this class, first and second, they're both super, super round and opened up through their center body. This one just a little bit flatter and deeper for me in comparison. Still has some shape over that top and from behind. Got a really good hip and hind leg. Just a couple things we've got to change there to make that one a little bit better. I like the doe here that's going to wrap up, and I'll tell you what, somebody needs to take her home and breed her. She's got a lot of power. She's got some rib. Just a little bit off behind that shoulder blade, a little bit steeper about her hip, but still just got put in a really tough class. I think that's a high-quality individual there. Just got put in a group of three other tough weathers there. Let's put your hands together for a nice class, really high quality all the way through.
First place and our first place county bred is Lexi Roy. Second place, Emma Foreman. Third place and our second place county bred, Ava Simmons. And fourth place, Paisley Kidwell. We're now ready for our Division I champion and reserve drive. So I need our first place votes of Olivia Simmons, tag 441. Emma Foreman, tag 413, and Lexi Roy, tag 438.
Yeah, because there's not county. No, I mean you need two dark and two light because
Our second place, I need Hannah Wolf, tag 450, Elizabeth LaRue, tag 425, and Emma Foreman, tag 414.
Emma, is that 413? Do you have 413? Okay. Yes.
together here for Division I class winners and seconds. He's already getting excited here. I think there's some high quality goats out here already. Just ones with some power and shape. Yet they don't give up too much in terms of their design. They're sound featured. They're opened up. They're tubular about their center body. They're shallow up into their chest. They're extended up high. And just put all those pieces together really well. Even still, there's one that I think is just the absolute powerhouse out here among its competitors. Just one that's more three-dimensional. It's just the biggest featured one, biggest footed, biggest bone, widest pins, biggest back. Has the most shape and handle by far. Belongs to this young lady right here. That's your champion. It's a little bit closer, I think, for reserve, and honestly, it comes down to the doe out of the second class, who I absolutely love. I would love to take that one home and get her bred. I think that's a really cool one. For me, the other one that I like just enough, better guys, just enough more power, more stoutness up high, bigger featured from behind. It's this young lady right back here. That'll be your reserve.
So we need back in the ring for our county bred reserve. So we have our champion, Division I champion was Lexi Roy. She's also our county bred champion. And then Emma Foreman is our reserve Division I champion. But we need a Division I reserve county bred. So I need Olivia Simmons, 441. And Emma Foreman, 413. And Ava Simmons, 439. And this will be for our county bred reserve.
Three really nice individuals out here showing for your reserve county born, and I love that you guys do this and you recognize your in-county breeders. I think that's great. There's one to me that just balances up so well, gives you a really nice look from the side, has so much shape up high, and actually probably the most impressive part is when you get your hands on this doe, just how much shape she got over that top and stoutness from behind. She just puts everything together in such a really nice, eye-appealing package. That's your reserve champion county born goat. Great job.
Division I county bred reserve champion is Emma Foreman with her tag 413. Now we're going to start Division II, Class 1. I need Ella Johnson, tag 421, Ava Simmons, tag 440, Brenna Bischoff, tag 400, Heather Hayes, tag 418, and Hallie Simmons, tag 443. These goats weigh 87 to 91 pounds.
tell you what, we had a sheep class like this, and it kind of just laid the groundwork for the rest of the show. And I'll tell you what, this is one of those classes you absolutely hate to be in, because there's goats in this class. You guys have switched to run the end. That should be different for it's not those two. It just kind of lays the groundwork for the rest of the show. There's high quality goats here. I'll tell you what, I'd gladly have my kids show a lot of these goats up on the top end of this class. I think they're extremely good in their build. Some are more powerful than others. It's not always just a muscle competition, and I think that's exactly what we're looking at here. This is proof right here. Because this goat that we're going to start with is not the heaviest muscle goat that we've got out here in the class. He gives up a little bit of shape from behind, then the 2 or maybe even 3 that stand behind him. But boy, his overall build is just absolutely impeccable. This guy is built so well from the ground up. He's so sound, angular, and agile. You get him out of motion, boy, he just kind of struts, keeping that head up and just kind of get out and flexing that hop and just moving those wheels exactly like he needs to. He's so opened up about that center body, just so smooth in transition from his shoulder blade into his forehead, staying nice and round, really strong up at that top. I think he's the smoothest behind his shoulder blade. He's the squarest about his hip, and has just enough muscle for me to just kind of pull it all up. Probably his best feature is for having just the overall shape and look that he does, and I think at this stage of the game, just how youthful he is up through that front third is just something that kind of sets him apart from the others out here. Makes him kind of one that's just a little bit easier as you're kind of talking through these in your head. I think once you consider that youthful look that he's got up there, that thinner neck or youthful head and neck, it just kind of makes it all the easier to move him up on top of this class. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love our second place goat here, and if you had told me that this was going to be a second place goat as he walked in just individually, I would just flat call you a liar, because I think this one is just an absolute rock star when it comes to overall muscle and power. For me, just so massive. He is just a little bit shorter coupled, not quite as angular at that hop. He doesn't quite move it quite as good as our class winner does when we're out in motion. For me, this one gets just a little more compact through that front third. He showed a little more maturity as it just thickens up and broadens up with that neck just ever so slightly. And I know we're late in the game here. We're getting a little bit later. I'm okay with it, but it is a factor of consideration here when it is really that tough on our top end. Boy, that's an awfully good goat here to be second. Great job to both of those two. I think we've got a really nice one here to follow from third. I tell you what, a heavy muscle one that's really stout from behind, a really big top one. It's still opened up enough about his center body, maybe just a little bit flatter compared to the 2 that get ahead of him right behind that shoulder blade. He gets a little bit flatter, a little weaker. For me, this one's the most rigid in terms of the shoulder blade, the way that it sits in. It sits up the highest on the top of his, up on top of him, compared to the other 2. It's just a little bit longer of a blade. It correlates into a slightly deeper chest compared to those 2, but still a big bone, big feature, heavy muscle in there. Not for third. Great job. Young lady's got a really nice one that certainly doesn't lack any shape here for fourth. This one's awfully stout from behind. He's a big middle one. Again, one that gets a little flatter and deeper, especially compared to the ones that beat him out here. He's not quite as long and just extended. He's a little shorter couple from end to end. It shows more through that front third. He's just not quite as extended and youthful and just cool about that neck as some of the other ones out here, but still I think one that has a lot of power and shape and some good pieces. Going around that with one that just got outhorsed in this particular class. He's not as massive as the ones that beat him out here. Still one that I think is very sound in terms of his feet and legs, and just gives you a nice look. If you would, let's put your hands together for one of the toughest classes to go. Hopefully see today.
First place, Brenda Bischoff. Second, Heather Hayes. Third place with our first place county bred, Hallie Simmons. Fourth place with our second place county bred, Ava Simmons. And fifth place, Ella Johnson. Class 2, Division 2, I need Lane Clark, tag 406. Carson Foreman, tag 412. Bristol Bolliard, tag 402. Aubrey Welch, tag 448. And Hattie Coger, tag 408. These goats weigh 94 to 98 pounds.
Congratulations.
Another nice class. I thought they were just a little more simple and kind of fall in line here. Young man, I think this kind of grabs your attention. This goes so three-dimensional about his upper skeleton. He's really wide chin, big hip, big top, and really shallow underneath. Just gives you a really nice look. He's not the easiest one to show. He's a little bit harder, to get a real good brace out of. But once you do, I think you really just fill that hand up with lots of power. I just love him for his center body and loose made skeleton. That one's really sound. Just does a lot of good things here for us. The solid redwood's a little bit plainer to look at. I'll be the first to admit he's a little longer about that blade, deeper about that chest. You get your hands on him, I think that's just the second heaviest muscle. But out here, he's big boned, he's very sound. It's just hard to put a major hole in, other than just being a little bit plain. And I'm not going to dock on that hard for just being a little bit plainer about their front third. And I think he's got just enough inside of him there to get up to the top of that class right there easily. The next one that comes in, I think this is a really stylish one. I like the general build from the side. He gets just a little bit flatter behind that shoulder blade, a little bit deeper coming into that chest. Not quite as massive and opened up as you want him to be. But still one that I think is super, super good in his overall design from the side. Enough to get up here in the top trio here. Just not as powerful as the ones that need him to do any better in that top three. The lady's got a real nice build, but I think puts a lot of good things together. For me, this one's simply just too flat and deep. We need to just open her up, make her more massive up high and from behind. Fix her behind that shoulder just a little bit more, and I think we could probably do some big things with her. But today she just only looks good from the side. I just need to open her up a little bit more when we get up on top of her. I'm going to round out with one that I think gives you a nice look. This is a sound feature goat. It's got some extension up front. To me, just loses a little more power over that top and from behind. Just not quite as heavy duty in terms of foot and bone work. Just some major things there that we have to work through there to appreciate that one to the max. If you would, let's put your hands together for a nice class.
First place, Carson Foreman. Second place with our first place county bred, Bristol Bolliard. Third place with our second place county bred, Lane Clark. Fourth place, Aubrey Welch. And fifth, Patty Coker. Now we're ready for our Class 3 Division 2. I need Aubrey Funk, tag 416. Kirsten Reese, tag 434. Caitlin Johnson, tag 419. Carson Foreman, tag 411. and Olivia Simmons tag 444. I would also like to take this time to recognize our GOAT rate of gain winner, which is Kirsten Reese, with her tag 434, and the rate of gain was 0.53 pounds per day. Kirsten will be receiving a vinyl banner on her way out of the ring for her rate of gain win, and a cash prize.
This was a pretty logical sort for me. Just shows the one that's just the stoutest made, the thickest handed one, biggest top, biggest handle by far, and the soundest one underneath just kind of combines all those things, I think, really well. Izzy just the coolest made one in terms of overall look and putting those lines together. I think him fighting that hauler and fighting Showman a little bit makes him a little bit harder to look at. So it maybe takes away from that total package, that overall appearance. But still, all those pieces are there exactly like we like them to, and a really well presented package. Young lady does a nice job with this second place go. Just one that's really stout featured over that top and from behind. In comparison to our class where he's a little bit deeper and just flatter about that center body coming down into that chest, we could open him up and just maybe make him a nice more shallow underneath. I think we probably have a really tough top duo there, but for me, he just kind of falls right into second place there, for lack of that. If you go to this third place go, this does a lot of good things here for us in terms of power, shape, and condition. For me, he's a little bit more compact, he's a little bit more short coupled in comparison, but still love the stoutness and feature. Great job for winning rate of gain. I think that's awesome. Our black dappled goat that's going to come next just maybe loses a little bit of shape and power coming from that third to fourth hole. This is just a little bit flatter in terms of overall handle up high. You're just not quite as expressive from behind. Could have round out with the build, but I think it's a really nice breeding goat. For me, she's not as stout and powerful as you want a market goat to be, so we lose just a little bit of that touch here, but boy, I think her silhouette's really nice. I would consider taking that one back and breeding her just for the sake of her overall build and balance from the side. Just hopefully we can power that one up, or power out that offspring that she would go on with next. Great job, really nice class all the way through. Let's put your hands together for them.
First place, Carson Foreman. Second place with our first place county bred, Olivia Simmons. Third place with our second place county bred, Kirsten Reese. Fourth place, Caitlin Johnson. And fifth, Audrey Funk. Now we're ready for our Division II champion in reserve. So I need Brenna Bischoff with tag 400, Carson Foreman with tag 412, and Carson Foreman with tag 411. Then I need Heather Hayes with tag 418, Bristol Bolliard with tag 402, and Olivia Simmons with tag 444. 444.
Great job to these exhibitors. I'm not going to waste any time here. I think there was a class in this particular division that just kind of smoke showed our entire show, just kind of set the standard here. I said it was going to be one of those classes that could make or break the show, and I really think that may be the case. We never know at the end of the day because we get to see our heavies, but still we've seen a lot of quality, but there's no second guessing here. Our best two came out of this first class. They're going to be the champion of reserve medals.
Everybody else just hang tight there for 1 second, please. Okay, our Division II champion is Brenna Bischoff, and our reserve champion is Heather Bates. Now we need to pick our county bred champion and reserve. So I need Hallie Simmons. Okay, let me hold on. Yeah, Hallie Simmons, tag 443. Bristol Bolliard with 402. And Olivia Simmons with 444. Hallie Simmons, tag 443. Bristol Bolliard, tag 402. And Olivia Simmons, tag 444. And then for our second row, I need Ava Simmons, tag 440. Lane Clark, tag 406. And Kirsten Reese, tag 434. Hallie, you coming from Bristol? And then Olivia, can you go behind Bristol, honey? And then Ava, come down here behind Hallie. And then Lane, you're in the middle in the back. And then Kirsten's on the end. Perfect. Thank you.
You know, I think even if this is our lineup here for division, it would make sense. It's quality goats with a lot of power, with good look. And I think we talked about the first class there out of that trio, just being an absolute hammer class. And I'll tell you what, just to further prove that, and not that I'm trying to go out on a limb here by any means, I think it's very logical once you get your hands on them and get them out here. We're going to continue on using these two. They're going to be your champion county born race for Division 2. Great job.
Our county bred Division II champion is Hallie Simmons, and our county bred reserve Division II is Ava Simmons. We're ready for our Division III Class 1. I need Olivia Dixon, tag 409, Aubrey Funk, tag 415, Michaela Bush, tag 403, Heather Hayes, tag 417, and Jimmy Peasley, tag 430. These goats weigh 106 to 108.
Closer placings in this class, but one thing is for sure, that one up front is just an absolute man eater. One that's just so stout from behind, so big rib, giant top. You can't even handle his entire top in just one hand. I mean, he's just massive. Huge bone, really big footed, so three-dimensional at the ground, just the way that he meets the ground, works with authority. I think he's extended enough up front that I just kind of like that front third. It just kind of all blends together here. They're just kind of really stylish, yet powerhouse kind of look from the side. That's a no-brainer for me. That's a cool one. I think it's probably the closest placing in this class is between 2 and 3. I chose the one that's wider pin, bigger hip, and just a notch more opened up. I'll fully admit I like to change them both right behind your shoulders just a little bit. So we time together from the back of that blade, just right into that loin with just a little bit more smoothness and transparency there. I think you could probably do some big things. I told him you got to be careful not to stretch that one out just a little bit too much. He doesn't have as much set at that hop as say the goats on either side of him. So the more you stretch him, the more he wants to rock forward in that hop. Even still, he gets out and uses it very well in motion. It's not going to be a factor that's going to keep him from doing any better in that particular class. I like this one that's going to be here in third. Like I said, I'd like to pitch him right behind his shoulder blade, but still, I think that's one that handles with enough shape and power and mass. I don't think just wide is opened up high. If you notice him right at his pins, he kind of tapers in from his hips to pins just a little bit more. He's not quite as three-dimensional at the ground. Still one that's super, super stylish and gives you a really nice look. Emily does a nice job with that one. We've got one here that comes next. This young lady's doe. Just getting a little bit plainer, maybe just a little bit chubbier in terms of her overall condition today. I'd like to just scale that back and just freshen her up and handle with just a little bit more power and freshness today. Still one that I think is really sound and big body and high volume. Maybe a better breeding piece in the market goes at the end of the day. Going to round out with the young lady's leather here that again just gets a little bit softer to handle. We're going to just freshen him up and give him a notch more muscle all the way through. He does get a little bit weaker on those back pasterns compared to some of the others out here. And I think it's enough that we've got to take it into consideration, make sure we mention it. If we could rock him up just a little bit more, I think we'd appreciate that goat a little bit more. If you would, let's put your hands together for a nice classic goat.
First place, Heather Hayes. Second place with our first place county bred, Jimmy Peasley. Third place, Olivia Dixon. Fourth, Michaela Bush. And fifth, Aubrey Funk. Division 3 Class 2, I need Olivia Dixon, tag 410. Jace Strasser, tag 446. Lane Clark, tag 405. Hallie Simmons, tag 442. And Jimmy Peasley, tag 429. These goats weigh 110 to 114. We're missing Michaela Bush. I'm sorry. Who are we missing? Hallie Simmons. Hallie Simmons, tag 442. Okay, this is your class.
funny. I bet. Probably awful.
Really nice class of heavies here. It was really close. I remember our top three, and I think we kind of pulled that bow aside, and I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was, but still, I think it's an awfully close place in here between these two. I chose one that I just thought was just a little shallower underneath, maybe just a little bit wider at his chest floor, at the ground, just as he gets out and goes. He's a little bit wider pin. He's just a notch bigger and fresher about his top, and then you get your hands on him. But boy, I think two that really resemble each other in terms of their overall build and pattern. I like this one. It's going to be here in second. He's kind of the flatter, deeper version of him from that shoulders back. You want to just stretching him up a notch more and lift that center body out of him just a little bit more. And I think you probably have an even closer placing. Still one that I think is extremely good in his overall just power and shape. He just comes in at the ground just a notch more in terms of his overall build and just dimension as he meets the ground. You want to just open him up and just make him a wider, tracking one coming at you and going away from you. And those are two extremely good ones that kind of resemble each other. I'll tell you what, at one time I kind of had this doe winning the class. I really like her, just in terms of her overall general build. I need to fix her in her handle right behind her shoulder blade. She kind of breaks a little bit right before she comes into that rack and really gets expressive. There's just a little bit of a break there before she gives you everything that she does. But that being said, from that break back, boy, she handles as good as anybody out here, as good as those weddings can in front of her. She's really sound at the ground. I think she's really massive from behind. I told him he was great for bringing one that's this good, to a market show, because really she should go home and get bred somewhere and produce some offspring. I think that one's awfully high quality. She's square, she's sound, she just does a lot of things right for me. Just unfortunately, there's a couple things there we've got to change to make her beat those weathers. That's a really nice doe. Then as it comes next, again, one that you want to just fix behind that shoulder blade, transitioning into his top just a little bit more. He gets a little flatter and deeper, not nearly as powerful as the three that win this class, but still one that I think is incredibly sound and just really good in his build. Going to round out with the young man's painted doe here that really, I think, strikes me as a breeding piece all the way through. She's got some capacity and rib. She's sound in her knee. She's square in the build. I like her just in terms of her overall build. She's just not powerful enough to compete with these market weathers out here. And even the one doe, but boy, I still think a high quality individual there all the way through. Let's put your hands together for them. A really nice class there.
First place, Hallie Simmons. Second, Olivia Dixon. Third, with the first place county bred, Jenny Peasley. Fourth, with our second place county bred, Lane Clark. And fifth, Jace Strasser. Now we're ready for our last class of market goats. I need Lexi Roy, tag 437. Jace Strasser, tag 445. Elizabeth LaRue, tag 426. Michaela Bush, tag 404. And Aubrey Welch, tag 447. These goats weigh 115 to 128.
Another really nice class to kind of round out our day. And this time I'm going to use the doe here to get up on top. One, it's just so hard to put a major fault in, especially from the side. Boy, she just balances up so well. Her build is really, really nice. I think she's sound. She's angular where she needs to be. She's so opened up about that center body. She's massive in terms of her shape and handle. I would like to freshen her up just a notch more. And to be honest, somebody needs to freshen that one up and take her home and get her bred, because I think that one's awfully good. But still, just a really nice individual there to get us started. I think she is good enough in terms of her condition, considering this class. Because there's some chubby goats out here, and I think she just kind of gets on top for quality. I like this one. It's going to be here in second, and I'll be perfectly honest, this one probably gives up a little more muscle than anything else in the top trio or so of this particular class. He's not quite as stout as the doe that stands ahead of him, nor the weather behind him, but I still just really like his general build and balance. I think that's a high quality one that's still very sound, and just maybe showing a little more maturity through that front third, but still, I think just a really complete one there to be second. The highest power one, the heaviest muscle one, whatever you want to call it, that is this one here in third, and there's nothing close to him in terms of overall power and shape. He's the biggest top one, he's the stoutest made one from behind. We give up a little bit just in terms of look and couple and convention. This one gets just a little bit too chubby. We need to really freshen him up through that neck and center body and just really clean him up in his lines, differentiate that one to the max. I think at one time that one was probably awfully good. Today he's just a little too roly-poly for us, but still really heavy muscle one you can appreciate. We're going to bring him around this way here. So this one comes next. I really like this one just in terms of his look. I wish when he dry we just kind of come together behind that shoulder blade a little bit. It gets just a little bit weaker top compared to the ones that do well in here in this class. He's a big bone, big-footed one. It gives you some look and style. Just gets a little bit too flat and just a little bit too weak top today to be any more competitive in this particular class. Real lady with the red goat here rounds us out. And I think he even gives us some shape and power, and that just shows that we really don't lack any muscle in this particular class, because, you know, for one this stout to end up where he did, it's really unfortunate. But today I think he gives up just in terms of his foot size and bone work. He's just a little more two-dimensional in his overall build, just not quite as heavy duty as some of the ones that beat him, but still one that I think is awfully good in his general build. Let's put your hands together for all of them.
First place in our first place county bred, Jace Strasser. Second place with our second place county bred, Lexi Roy. Third place, Michaela Bush. Fourth, Aubrey Welch. And fifth, Elizabeth LaRue. Now we're ready for our Division III overall champion and reserve drive. I need first place, Heather Hayes, tag 417. First place, Hallie Simmons, tag 442. And Jace Strasser with 445. Then I need Jimmy Peasley, tag 430, Olivia Dixon, tag 410, and Lexi Roy, tag 437 in the back.
together here for our heavyweight contenders. Been a lot of quality all the way through, and I think what we're getting into heavyweights and some of them getting really mature on us, just getting a little bit more old and just a little staler looking up through their front end. I think this is a really nice lineup, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to put together out here, because I think all of them are youthful enough in their general build and look and appearance, and then just absolute powerhouses. We've got a lot of muscle standing out here in these 6 goes, and some of them maybe just have a little bit more than others, but no matter what, I think there's one that just absolutely stands up here and screams and waves at you. Pick me, they are the absolute winner. There's no doubt about it. It's not even close. Young lady up front, you're going to be our champion heavyweight. I think to bring in that second place one out of that class, and it gets all the closer for reserve. It's kind of a awfully tight race there between that one and another one. And I think there's one that's just a bit more correct out of the two, right behind her shoulders, maybe comes in and just handles with just enough more power and firmness and freshness. The rolling edges are so hard and really deep. Yet have a lot of power from behind. Get out and track with some width at the ground and just have that three-dimensional skeleton like we're looking for. Can't leave out of our second class will be reserve heavy.
Okay, so now we need to do our county bred. So I need Jimmy with 430 to stay in. I need Jimmy Peasley with tag 429. And Jace, you stay. Then in the back line, I need Lane Clark with 405 and Lexi Roy with 437. Heather, go behind Jimmy. 430 needs to be first, and then 429 right behind.
Into our heavyweight county born goats, and I think all 3 of our contenders here are also top notch, just really good in terms of their feet and leg assembly. They're shallow underneath, they're round about their cages. There's some little things we maybe picked on some of them for here and there. Specifically like that third, or the one out of the third hole, we just want to freshen up. She just gets a little bit chubbier on us. It's a little bit harder to look at her compared to a couple of the other ones in front of her that are just going to be a little fresher in the condition today. The one that I think is just the most youthful and still has just the most fresh, youthful kind of look about him, yet still having the power and shape that we need him to. It's the young man's weather up front. He'll be your champion. Choosing with between these two does. I think they're both high quality does. Actually, I think in class I said both of them need to go home and get bred somewhere. So I hope there's some future plans for them because I think both of them are awfully good. The one that I just like, just a little bit more in terms of power and condition and freshness today is the one out of that second class. That'll be your reserve county one. Great job.
Division 3 champion, Heather Hayes. Division 3 reserve, Hallie Simmons. And our Division 3 county bred champion is Jimmy Peasley with 430. And our Division 3 county bred reserve is Jimmy Peasley with 429. We're now ready for our overall drive. So I need Lexi Roy with tag 438. Brenna Bischoff with tag 400. And Heather Hayes with tag 417. Then in row 2, I need Emma Foreman, tag 414, Heather Hayes, tag 418, and Hallie Simmons, tag 442.
Lexi, come over this way, honey. Come over towards the middle. Lexi. There you go. That's perfect, honey.
Let's start by putting our hands together here for our contenders to win overall. Boy, what a tough show we've seen, and I'll tell you what, I remember the Goats being good from last year, but there weren't near as many of this level and that caliber that got up on top last year. I know there wasn't. This set is way deeper, and I think our top end is maybe even a notch better. So great job to you guys as exhibitors, going out and shopping and picking the right ones, speaking them right, and getting them done to this point, because boy, I think it's been a high quality show all the way through. Even from our lightweights all the way through the heavies. I think we've seen some really nice goats with some quality in their build that are really sound, functional market animals that still have that look for the show ring. And there's one out here that I think is just an absolute hammer. He's just an absolute monster. And honestly, I thought he was going to just run away with it, but you bring in that other division winner next to him, and it is a little closer than what you think. It doesn't always come down to just being the stoutest one. Sometimes just having a little bit cooler look or some little things here and there kind of set them apart from each other. So, boy, is it a really, really close race between these top two for me. I've got a favorite, and I'm going to show you which one that one is. I'm going to pick your reserve here. But great job. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you again for having me. I know we're not done here for the day. You get to be with me tonight yet on Steers, but boy, has it been one heck of a show so far. Great job. Let's put your hands together one more time. I'm going to show you the two that I like best.
Okay, now we need to do our overall county bred. So we need Lexi with 438. And to join her, we need Hallie Simmons with 443 and Jimmy Peasley with 430 in row 1. Then in row 2, I need Emma Foreman with 413, Ava Simmons with 440, and Jimmy Peasley with 429.
lineup, and I tell you what, you go to a lot of county fairs and shows at this level, and their grand drive, not their county born final drive, but their grand drive overall may not be quite as good. So I commend you guys. It says a lot, not only for you guys as exhibitors, but for the breeders behind these goats, just to bring such quality out here for the ring. And the longer out here, the more the one that just stands out to me, just so complete, so beautiful and fresh about their overall appearance. Shallow underneath and yet round about their center body. And just, if I remember right, came out of such a tough class, and it gets a little bit closer for reserve. And you can go about either way for reserve. I'm going to choose the one that for their size just handles with so much power and shape, and just a little bit more robust in terms of their overall build. My favorite one for your champion nose is right here in the middle. And like I said, the one that's going to be reserved, I think for their size, just a little bit more opened up, more three-dimensional, and just a little heavier duty at the ground than the different champion reserve.
Our 2023 overall grand champion market goat goes to Heather Hayes with tag 417. Our 2023 overall reserve champion market goat goes to Brenna Bischoff, tag 400. Our overall grand champion county bred market goat goes to Hallie Simmons, tag 443. And our 2023 overall reserve champion county bred market goat goes to Lexi Roy, tag 438.